Good afternoon. I'm Master Sergeant Tim Harman, 22nd Operations Group First Sergeant. Majority of my time as a First Sergeant, along with a lot of other First Sergeants across the base, has been spent on PT. More specifically, PT failures. Dealing with PT failure actions, along with PT failure discharges, has occupied a lot of our time. I asked the question, why is there so many PT failures? Is this preventable? I believe it is. PT is something that is important to everyone. As military members, we're obligated to be physically fit, ready to go, deploy at a moment's notice anywhere across the world. Additionally, we are all fathers, sons, brothers, sisters, mothers. We all have to be physically fit. We all have obligations other than just our military obligations. Studies have proven that physical active people live longer and have less health problems throughout their life. We're going to dig into our PT failures within our unit using the 8-step problem solving method. We're going to define the problem to see and validate that it's actually a problem. We're going to dig into a SWOT analysis and look at some strengths and weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Additionally, we're going to look at the gap analysis tool and our desired state compared to our current state and see where the gap is in between there. We're going to set improvement targets looking at ideal state and future state. We're going to use the SMART acronym to set a goal statement. Next, we're going to move on to our root cause analysis, step 4, where we're going to use two tools, the fishbone diagram and the infinity diagram, where we're going to brainstorm possible root causes. Next, we're going to develop countermeasures from whatever is the most effective, feasible, and has the biggest impact on our PT program unit. Step 6, 7, and 8, we're going to predict through it and talk through what is going to be the outcome if we follow the steps beforehand. We're going to see the countermeasures through by tracking, evaluation, and adjusting. We're going to use AFMS 2. We're going to standardize the program using a continuity book and some other possible avenues. Step 7, we're going to confirm the results again through AFMS 2. We're going to go and see the PT program and talk to people. If our root causes don't work, or we'll move back to step 4. In step 8, we're going to standardize our successful process, the most common step process. Now that you understand our roadmap for today, let's go ahead and dig into our very first step, our problem statement. Defining the problem took a little bit of work as pulling AFMS 2 reports for the last 4 quarters. Pulling those reports and digging through them, we found that 98.59% pass rate, but unfortunately we still have 30 members that are non-current and we have 23 failures. And being the best Air Force in the entire world, we only have a 38% excellent rating, meaning only 38% of our members are at 90% or higher. After we use the go and see method, talking to the fitness assessment cell, talking to our leadership, talking to base legal, and exploring the fitness center and the indoor and outdoor track, we came up with a problem statement that fitness failures have increased by 16%, and fitness rates have decreased by 3% over the last 12 months. This has created a strain on leadership, legal, unit manning, and the fitness assessment cell. From that problem, we dove into SWOT analysis. We looked at some internal strengths and weaknesses, some things. If we had a perfect program, what does this do for us? Why is this worth it? Digging into this problem, we looked at some weaknesses, but not having a good program. We looked at some external opportunities and threats, things that we possibly can't change, but that are there in our thinking of the problem. Then we got into the gap analysis. We looked at the desired state, that we want to be 100% pass rate, that we want to increase excellent category, 90% or higher by at least 5%, and that we want everybody to be current on their fitness assessment. Again, and then we looked at our current state, which is at 98.59% pass rate and 30% non-current with 23 failures and 38% excellent rating. That gap analysis in between the two, we came with some action steps. Additionally, we moved on to the setting improvement targets, where we looked at the ideal state compared to the future state. The ideal state being that it's the perfect PT program that most likely probably won't be there, but it would be great if we had all the resources, the money, the time that we can make happen. What can we make happen? In our high ops tempo, we looked at What could we do? The future state. What is the most bang for our buck? And we labeled that. We made a goal statement using the SMART acronym: specific, measurable, actionable, results focused, and timely. Moving on, we talked about our root causes in step 4. We used 2 different tools: the bonefish tool, where we brainstormed a lot of things that we thought possibly be our problem under multiple categories. Those categories are man and people, Mother Nature, education, equipment, resources, and measurement. Additionally, we used another tool called the infinity diagram, where we had the subject headers of education or lack of knowledge, old culture, opportunity, resources, manning, equipment, and organizational issues. The biggest problems that we have fall under organizational issues. That took us to developing our countermeasures. Seeing that organizational issues is our biggest problem, that we just went with that as develop countermeasures. We looked at feasibility, effectiveness, and impact when developing those countermeasures. What do we get our most bang for our buck? And we narrowed it down to developing unit guidance and policy, appointing 3 to 5 UFPMs, and 10 to 15 PTLs. This helps with the high ops tempo, TDYs, deployments, etc. We also implemented a 2-month out test schedule, so everybody knows when they're going to test. This enables people to mock test and adjust from that mock testing to pass their PT test. We're also going to discuss it during weekly staff meetings, and it's going to be on the SharePoints for people to go and look. We're also implementing a 3-day-a-week mandatory PT schedule. Later on down the line, we're going to bring in nutritionists and exercise physiologists to help with training on how to work out, how to eat. With these countermeasures in place, now we're going to move on to step 6. Predicting we do everything perfect and to plan, we're going to be successful. We're going to have visual aids where we're going to have it out on SharePoint. We're going to have it on the weekly staff slides. Additionally, we're going to standardize the work. We're going to use a continuity book by step-by-step aspects, so all UFPMs and PTLs are on the same page. We're going to be briefing this at commander's calls and following up with the email. In step 7, we're going to confirm the results. We're going to pull AFMs to reports. We might break it down by each squadron to see, is there a possible failure in one squadron than another. If that doesn't work, we're going to move back to step 4 of the root cause analysis and dissect other root cause analysis. In step 8, we're going to make sure that we really hit the most common skipped step. We're going to concrete it into OIs. We've already had some in place, but we might adjust those needed, and then we're going to benchmark it and share it across the base to help other programs. Now that you understand the 8-step problem-solving method to deal with our fitness failure program within our unit, let's go ahead and recap what we talked about today. We began talking about fitness failures. Our problem, we identified that it is an actual problem within our unit by pulling AFMs to reports and going and seeing. Additionally, we use a SWOT analysis, where we use the strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats internally and externally. We use the gap analysis tool to identify the desired state and the current state and the gap in between those. We set improvement targets by looking at the ideal state and the future state. Where is the perfect program compared to where we think we can get? We developed a goal statement. We looked at root cause analysis and determined through the fishbone method and the infinity diagram that organizational issues is our biggest failure area. From that, we developed countermeasures that were effective, feasible, and had a high impact on the unit. That we developed and appointed 3 to 5 UFPMs and 10 to 15 PTLs, and we trained them. We talked about steps 6, 7, and 8, where we're going to see it through, we're going to concrete it, and we're going to pull AFMs to reports to verify that we're on the right track. With this game plan in place, there's no doubt that we can be successful, that our PT program can increase pass rates and our failures decreased, and that everybody can be on a current status. PT is everybody's responsibility, whether we're military or civilian. We have to be healthier. We have to eat healthier. We have to be better people. Thank you for your time.